I'm back. It is mid-January. I was pretty busy the first part of this new year, 2022, but I am happily back in the garden here, and it is cold this morning, but it is beautiful out here. Well, I started my day with a plan to do some harvesting. I did very little harvesting, like maybe a couple teeny weeny little broccolis, so not even worth showing you, because what I ended up doing is working on this bed, making it, trimming up all the dead leaves and putting down some compost, which is definitely my winter plan, to get compost down into the bed. So that ended up taking up the time that I have today. So yeah, that's how it goes sometimes with gardening, is start out with one thing and then you decide something else is the priority temporarily. Hey, I just thought I would share that some other seeds that I'm planting right now. I've been planting Lisianthus, which is a new flower for me. I was hoping to kind of gather some more information, do some research on it for you all to tell you a little more about it, but running out of time here, so I figure I would just tell you what I know off the top of my head. It looks like it could be a perennial. The first time I saw it, I thought, wow, they're beautiful, and they look very much like roses. And then I found in doing some of the research that I did that in fact that is, a lot of people will grow them as alternatives to roses. I don't think they have thorns. Hey, I planted these shallots last year, the Zebrune shallots from Botanical Interests, and they did fantastic, so I'm up to it again here. Weeding today, lots of weeding. That's what's going on behind me. Just weeding this bed, which is about 20-foot length. Is a chore in and of itself. It's taking me over an hour to do it. Weed the bed and then replant some compost on it. So I'd say by the end of dealing with this bed, it's a 2-hour project or so. And I've got a few more to go. Well, over my shoulder here, I have some hyssop that was, it's the blue flowering hyssop. And I had planted it from seed a couple of years ago. I did a video on it last year, actually. And it's been growing and kind of taking over this bed. It is definitely a perennial. It's kind of growing like a bush. So I pulled it out and kind of, I pulled it out the big root clumps and kind of piled it up here. And I'm going to be looking around the garden to see, is there other places I can stick it? Because I don't want bushes of big perennial herbs in kind of my annual veggie bed right here. I'm not saying that there's a scientific reason that I don't want it there or that I shouldn't want it there. I'm just saying I just don't want it there. But and yeah, it's grown beyond what I expected, and it produced a nice flower. It was visually appealing, but it wasn't something that I used a lot in harvesting and either. So I think growing a little bit of it is great, and I had already transplanted a little part of it over into the perennial herb bed last year. So yeah, I got to do a little bit of studying on what kind of climate does this thing need. Can it grow in one of my shadier beds maybe? Gonna find out. Well, I did my research, and it sounds like hyssop enjoys areas that are sun to partial shade and are relatively dry, and so this back here might be the perfect area in this bed. So I've transplanted the hyssop that I dug up from the veggie beds. I planted it in here, and we'll see how this takes for the rest of the season. Believe it or not, I actually think I have some harvests out there. There's some broccoli that is good to harvest. There's some, we had a snow and freeze a couple weeks ago, week and a half ago, and there's some of the broccoli that's kind of turned to mush, but some of it still looks good. So I'm going to be harvesting today. Broccoli, some leeks. It looks like there might be some beets, but I'm not sure. There's definitely some lettuce and there's some kale. It hasn't grown very much in this cold and lack of light. But yeah, today's a beautiful day out here. Well, it's been fun to play out in this dry and relatively warm weekend for January here at PDX Garden Home. You can see on my shoulders here 2 beds, one that I have gotten prepped, weeded and composted and ready to go for the season, and then the other one which still needs to be weeded and trimmed up, and maybe another layer of a small layer of compost put down on it. So yeah, still enjoying the weather and having fun, definitely. Okay, Hope you all are out in the garden and enjoying it as well. See y'all.